Hey, what's up, phone lovers, and welcome to the Mobile Roar podcast for the week of June 20th, 2014. I'm Joe Fidua.
I am Chris Chavez.
And I am Kevin Kraus.
Back again. You're just going
Yeah,
to be gone every other week now for the rest of the summer?
seems that way. But I'm here today for a very special episode, right, guys?
Yes,
Oh,
episode number 50.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's pretty. Wait for it.
There
There we go.
We made
I don't
it.
know. I didn't think we'd make it this far, guys. I'm pretty impressed with us.
Well, we didn't make it intact, you know. We've had
Yep.
we've lost
The
some,
team has changed a little bit.
but
I mean, we started out with just the three of us, and then Edgar came aboard, and now it's just the three of us again.
but
Yeah.
but Edgar's here in spirit.
Yeah.
You know.
So wait, does that mean in 2 weeks, 52, that will be a full year of doing this?
Is that how many
No.
weeks are in a year?
I think it's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, then that will be it. I mean,
And I'm pretty sure we've gone like every week. Maybe we missed 1 week or something.
yeah,
Did
I
we
think
even miss a week? I don't think we
we
even
missed a
have.
week or two somewhere around there.
We were shooting even when we were in Spain. Like we were not
Yeah.
missing shows.
I think if we missed one, it was Christmas or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
either
yeah,
that or
possibly.
maybe around CES. I don't know if we had one, but
Yeah. Oh, that's
point is
right,
we're here
too.
today. And
Yes. And quite the episode we have today.
I know.
I just gonna do a quick segue here, guys. This phone is on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking Amazon phone.
The Amazon Fire Phone.
It's not a phone, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm dead set against calling it a phone. It's just an Amazon app that somehow manifested itself
Yeah.
into this like.
I kind of call it the ultimate impulse buy machine. I think that's
Oh,
what it's
yeah.
designed to be.
Like
That
it's-
is literally what it was designed for. Yeah.
I'm so surprised when they were doing the whole like scanning thing in real life. I was so surprised because you know how like Amazon redid the whole what was it like one click buying. I thought it was going to be one scan buying. You would scan a product and then boom, it would just like
People would
buy.
just be like, yeah, they'd be accidentally buying everything though.
Yeah, well, I know. Try and take a picture. I think it's built in with the camera. Like when you're shooting trying to take a picture, it'll just like.
It's not
start
built
looking
into
at
the
products.
camera.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, what we're talking about is the Firefly thing, where you click the
Amazon
camera button
Firefly.
once to get the camera to come on, but if you hold it down, the Firefly thing opens.
But for those, I guess, that haven't been keeping up with the news, we're also talking about the new Amazon Fire Phone that was announced a couple days ago. Yesterday? Day before? Yesterday.
It's
Yesterday.
yesterday. It's fresh. It's hot, if you will. You know?
It's on fire.
Uh, I don't know, man. This announcement. First of all, the announcement just went on and on and on.
It was
So
hour and a half announcement.
they had a
It was
lot
pretty
to talk
crazy.
about with
Well,
the
he
iPhone.
followed the typical Apple event script, like here's all our stats, and then oh yeah, here's the actual device.
Yeah,
But they
we're doing
actually-
awesome.
They introduced a lot of, things that are unique for a smartphone, I would say. I mean, maybe not totally brand new, but sort of variations on things we've seen before, and obviously geared very towards the Amazon ecosystem. The Firefly that we're talking about, for people that aren't kind of aware, is kind of like Google Goggles, if you're familiar with Google Goggles. Also kind of like Shazam, and also, I guess, Android's ability to kind of listen for music and stuff. But this Firefly service listens for music, movies, TV shows. It can scan books, artwork, barcodes, all that stuff. And if it's in Amazon's store, which there's a good chance that a lot of stuff is, it'll offer you not only information about that product, but the ability to buy it very easily. So, I mean, Amazon always has a slightly ulterior motive when they sell these things.
And we should mention that Amazon, the option to buy it is not the only thing you get from this. Like, if you listen to a song with it, for example, you can start like a station with that song on iHeartRadio.
Oh, yeah,
So apps can like hook into it too. It's not just all, hey, buy this giant buy button.
They have an SDK for developers to like implement it into their apps and stuff.
Yeah, that along with also the other thing that was kind of long rumored about this phone and finally revealed was this dynamic perspective, right?
Oh boy.
which is what it's what
It's
up to the
cool.
launch was rumored as 3D. It's not really 3D though, in the sense that you're not taking 3D photos and it's not a 3D display. But I don't know. It's hard to the only way like, and it's not a really good explanation. But when I think about it, I think about when you go to the art museum and the eyes in the painting like follow you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
If you've ever
It's
experienced
basically
that.
like it's like you're looking into your phone, like literally inside your phone.
Yeah,
So
like you
Because like
move it
you
around and you
turn
can
your
flip stuff.
head and you can see stuff more to the side. It's like your phone is a 3D box with stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's implemented or whatever. It takes advantage of like the gyro sensors and all this stuff in the phone, so you can kind of move it around. So it's a lot like Apple's parallax effect, but they kind of like for the lock screen and stuff, they've made a lot of a 3D like what do you call those graphics and whatnot. So everything is kind of going in. There's all these different layers and all these
Yep.
things that are moving, and it's even like on some of the maps and stuff. So the menus and some UI elements will be hovering above certain other parts of
Hmm.
an app, which is kind of neat. And really, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick, and it's cool. But it's just kind of funny to hear Amazon kind of oh, if there's stuff on the side of the screen, you can kind of like tilt to see like some little what like why wouldn't you just scroll if you really need to see something on the
Yeah,
side of that?
and like they
So
built the Maps app, for example. You tilt the phone when you're in the Maps app, and it brings up like Yelp reviews, but you have to
yeah,
tilt your phone to see them. Is that really
Which,
that
but I
user
mean, to me,
friendly?
that's the most useful part of it. Not, I think the looking at the phone and having it kind of follow your head's cool, but I think the most useful part are more the shortcuts. I mean, they have tilt to scroll books and web pages, and they've got they call it peek, and you can look at the Yelp reviews on the maps, like Joe was saying. But
If you
it
do
is,
like a gesture like this too, you bring up the shortcut
oh yeah,
notifications.
you can like twist it different ways.
Yep.
So like you tilt one way or tilt the other way, then all of a sudden, bloop, a little sidebar menu will come out. But I don't know. It
but
seems kind of weird to have it do that
yeah.
and not just interact with your finger. I mean, I can see if these are options that you can enable, but just to have that as like the primary mode of like interacting. Oh, I'm gonna shake my phone. I mean, what if you're running? All the menus are coming in and out. Like I don't know.
Well,
It's just
yeah,
weird.
but here's the main issue. So Amazon builds a phone, and they've gone so to get this dynamic perspective to work, they've put 4 additional cameras on each corner of the front of the device. So I think there's a total of 5 cameras on the front of the device. I think you have your actual
Yes.
like selfie camera, and then you've got 4 cameras, and their only purpose is to track your face and help with this
Your
dynamic.
head.
Track your
They
head,
said
yeah.
the word head a lot. They talked a lot about head.
And they scan heads, and
There
then
was like a half-hour segment on heads. I'm
It
serious.
creeped out Joe a lot.
but
It's all these heads, man.
But then here's the issue. So now, not only is this, I think, a reason why this hardware is a little bit more expensive, right? But also it kind of factors into this is one phone with a very specific thing, and even though they have their Fire or whatever SDK, Dynamic Perspective SDK, developers can take advantage of it. This is the only phone that uses it. So why are developers really going to spend a lot of time building
Yeah,
special functions that go into just one phone?
it's
That's
a
kind of the
It all
very
depends on
good
the
point.
popularity of it.
well, I
Which
don't
I
know.
don't see it being that popular, honestly.
Right now, it's the number one seller on Amazon. Does
Shut
anyone
up.
actually believe that?
There is
No, it
no
seriously
possible way.
is. It seriously is. It has that little ribbon on it. I'm
I mean,
serious.
if that's true, then we have like grossly underestimated the amount of people on Amazon, like their user base, and just frothing at the mouth for anything new that Amazon. I mean, does Amazon have these fans, these people that are just
Well, you
Don't
were
know.
saying yesterday during the event, Chris, that Amazon's like number one demographic is moms.
yeah, it's all soccer moms. It's soccer moms and maybe like a few dads that are a little more on the internet or something. But yeah,
So
it's
you think
just
just millions of moms went on Amazon yesterday, saw Bezos's letter, and just insta bought it?
I mean,
I don't
you
know,
have to
man.
look at like a consensus in America or whatever, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of moms out there, and there are more moms growing every day, and this is an untapped market.
Moms, the leading demographic.
The
Moms,
mom
and,
phone.
and it's the mom phone. It's crazy.
Hey, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's actually not that bad of a phone. I just think that it's Amazon. So first of all, you're alienating people that want an actual Android phone because Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an Android phone, but is it really an Android phone? I mean, it uses such a skewed,
Yeah,
shifted.
you can't even call it Android anymore.
It doesn't
I
have Google
wouldn't.
Play access. I mean, it can run Android apps, but you got to get them from the Amazon store. It's priced pretty. It's a 2-year contract, right? Is what they're selling it on. I mean,
Yeah.
the price
Yeah.
is kind of, um, I mean, kind of traditional, but it's still a little
Yeah,
pricey.
and I'll talk about the price a little bit more later on.
Um, it's only on AT&T, so it's an AT&T exclusive. I just think there's so many things stacked against this phone from being a runaway success.
You know, that
Yeah.
was one thing, the AT&T exclusivity. It is that does suck. But I don't think that necessarily kills phones because there have been a lot of good phones that have been exclusive to one carrier that did just fine. I saw a lot of people yesterday on Twitter mentioning how AT&T exclusivity killed phones like the HTC First, and I'm just like, come on. I think Facebook killed the HTC First. It wasn't AT&T.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, what wasn't the iPhone first on
Yeah, AT&T
AT&T?
for a long time.
Well, wasn't
Yeah,
it still what was it called before AT&T? Singular?
Singular, possibly. I mean, Singular
Yeah,
was
I think you're
AT&T
right.
after
Was it
AT&T.
AT&T when the iPhone launched, or was it still Singular?
I think
I,
it might have been singular actually.
Because
yeah, it
I
might.
know that when that iPhone launched, it was like that was a big part of kind of AT&T's resurgence. I think they got a lot of, I mean,
Oh
obviously,
yeah,
but I don't think the Amazon
absolutely.
phone has that same kind of power to draw users to
You
the.
wouldn't think so, but then again, number one seller on Amazon.
Number
Amazon, I'm
one.
sure Amazon can probably code their back end to show that regardless, so people think it's the number one.
Oh well, I better buy this phone. It's number one on Amazon.
What's trending? What's trending on Amazon? Oh
Uh,
gosh.
so I think we cut you off when you were talking about the gestures and stuff before, Kevin. Do you think you would actually use that stuff? Like you would tilt your phone to scroll through a book and web page and stuff?
I don't. I think it's one of those things where it is probably more useful than it immediately appears. I mean, you have to learn the habit of doing that. But then I could also see it being kind of irritating, like when you're tilting your phone and you don't want it to scroll, if
Yeah.
you have that option enabled and it starts to scroll. So, I mean, it's just a different way of interacting with your phone. I just I don't know why you need 4 cameras to accomplish this. I don't know really if it adds that much to the experience, but
That
um,
four camera segment, it really was creepy. I mean,
That's yeah.
Bezos even said it himself. He goes, "I know this sounds creepy,"
They had
because
a
it really
floating
did.
mannequin head. They had like a person's decapitated corpse
Yeah.
head just
And
floating
he
in
was
the
talking
air.
about like they scanned millions of heads to get this thing working. Like
The
this is
more he
just
kept
great.
describing it, Joe was just freaking out. Like, wait, what are you
We're living in
saying?
this age of the NSA, and oh sure, give me that phone with four cameras on the front of it. That's what I want.
I
They're
mean,
watching me all the time.
yeah, that's what some people would probably.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
I'm
it's
not.
not going to be easy for competitors to bash this thing. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know who's still bashing other phones. Pretty much everyone just targets the iPhone, but it's pretty easy for HTC or someone like, hey, they got 4 cameras. You might want to watch out for them. And
Can't wait
privacy
for
concerns.
the first phone to not have any front-facing cameras anymore, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we're not spying on you like
Yeah,
that Amazon phone."
like that Amazon phone.
I don't know. That's the real interesting thing about all of Amazon's hardware, whether it be the Kindle, the Kindle Fires, this Fire phone. It seems like Amazon exists in its own, and it kind of does exist in its own ecosystem. It's its own little sandbox kind of environment. And Amazon will make ads that target Samsung and target Apple, but Apple and Samsung aren't really concerned with targeting Amazon. They don't. I don't. They
Yeah,
don't act like they feel threatened by Amazon's hardware
it's true.
department. So.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder. I mean, but the thing is, didn't the original Kindle Fire sell like outsell every Android tablet basically?
It probably,
But
I mean,
yeah,
it very well
I
could
thought
have,
I heard that it did. But yeah, you're right. You never see Samsung or somebody like going after
but it's
Amazon.
just so easy for Samsung to brush those statistics under the rug and be like, well, that's not really an Android tablet, you know?
True.
I mean, and if you think about it, a lot of the stuff that the Amazon phone does that's unique are these gimmicky features. Some of the other stuff, like the Firefly OS and all it, or Firefly app or whatever they call it, those features can be implemented in any other Android phone. If that's just an Android app that they're running, they could have just released that for every single Android phone
Yeah,
in the
that's
market.
a That's a good point. I was actually
And
wondering, is someone going
there,
to rip that APK of the
yeah,
Firefly?
there was really nothing about that phone that was just like that they couldn't have just, hey, let's sign a deal with Samsung and make an Amazon phone, and it'd be the Samsung Amazon phone or whatever, or the HTC Amazon phone. It's just kind of weird to see them just do it off on their own and make completely separate hardware just for their phone.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Why wouldn't they release like a launcher, like a Fire OS
Exactly. The
launcher?
Fire OS launcher, it's all simple. It's got all the little apps, all those little widgets and all that stuff, and it's got the Firefly, open the camera, scan stuff. I mean, there's really nothing that's like unique as far as that goes. The only thing really are those front-facing cameras, but I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
like the only exclusive hardware thing. The other
Yeah.
thing is just like, Amazon is so it's kind of become expected that they're gonna sell hardware at a loss. So that's kind of surprising to me that this phone is just as expensive or even more expensive than some Android phones
Yeah.
for what you get for
Yeah.
this.
That was really weird. I was expecting them to just completely undercut everyone. I mean, especially the on-contract price, you would think they would have just undercut everybody, and like they're
I mean,
targeting soccer moms here, thrifty little
this plus
buyers.
the specs do not warrant a $200 price tag on contract.
Yeah, not at all. But
We'll see, I guess.
All
right.
With the Fire phone, you guys gonna throw it in your cart,
no.
one-click purchase it?
The only reason I would have ever got the Fire phone is if it was given to everyone that has a Prime subscription.
You know,
See,
you know
that's
what
cool.
is weird is that my mom hit me up yesterday and she's like, "Hey, does T-Mobile have that Amazon phone?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? How do you even know there's an Amazon phone?" Like it totally just blew my mind, like how she even knew.
That's why it's a #1 seller. Who's telling all
Because
these people?
I'm telling you,
Amazon is. How many people actually
exactly
just
she
go to
went on to
Amazon on a
Amazon.
day and then they see this phone?
She went to go purchase like some, I don't know, whatever they buy. My mom buys on Amazon, and then she saw the Amazon phone. I was like, "Oh, that looks cool. It's got 4 cameras. I like that."
People are
Selfies.
gonna think that they're gonna take like 4 pictures at the same time. Like, oh, it's got 4 cameras.
I mean, it could make a 3D model of your face, right? That'd be kind of cool. Put you in video games and stuff. That'd be
Oh,
pretty
and
awesome.
you get 12 months free Amazon Prime, so you don't even get the life of the phone free Amazon Prime, which I think is what they should have done. If it's a 2-year
Yeah,
contract, you should
2-year
get it.
contract, 2 years of Amazon Prime for free.
I wrote the article yesterday. Fire phone is the most expensive way to get a free year of Amazon Prime.
It's so ridiculous. It's so
I mean,
ridiculous.
it is an $100 value, so I guess you pay $200 and then you get a $100 free subscription. So
And it
whatever.
is a great value. I love Amazon Prime, and I've been using it for years now. But crazy.
All right, moving on to T-Mobile, Uncarrier 5.0 and
Oh
6.0.
man.
Now, I have some strong opinions about the 6.0 part, but first I'll let Chris explain what went down yesterday.
Last night, actually after my shift had ended, John Legear and friends came out and they announced Uncarrier 5.0. So they've been hyping it up for a while. The event was in Seattle, and it was kind of interesting because I guess the Paramount Theater or something that they had it in, had this announcer guy come out and he pulls down the microphone and he's like, "Let's get ready." Everyone's
Oh,
freaking out and just
yeah.
crazy energy and just so unlike I don't this Verizon and Sprint. No one else even has these carrier events, but whatever. This was their thing, and 5.0. I guess they introduced or they announced it that they're going to be giving out free iPhones for everyone to try. Anyone, even the current customer. So you can be an actual T-Mobile customer and you can still get this iPhone free to try out for 7 days. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited email. Use it for anything you want for that full 7 days, and then you return it, and decide whether or not you want to switch to T-Mobile or if you would rather stick to Verizon or what have you. So to me, this is genius, absolutely genius, and I am just completely floored because when just me personally, when I try to tell people like, dude, T-Mobile is different now. I don't care what you heard before. I mean, I was with T-Mobile for a good 2 years. It was pretty bad back then. Then I was with Sprint for 2 years. Worst time of my life. And since that 4 years or 2 years span or 3 years, whatever, then I went to AT&T for about a year. So that time, T-Mobile it's a totally different network now. I mean, places where I had barely edge now, I have 4G LTE. I have bars everywhere, and like it even trumps Verizon. My girlfriend has Verizon, and we're always doing speed tests and whatever, and we're checking out our network stuff. And sometimes she'll drop down to 3G. I still got 4G LTE, and it completely blows my mind. And this is genius. This is completely genius, and it's just amazing, and it's a part of T-Mobile, man. The
So it's
Uncarrier.
completely no strings attached. Like I can walk into a T-Mobile store.
Well.
Yeah, I want to know the fine print here.
So you sign up online, and they'll ship you a phone. So you don't even have to, or they'll tell you to pick it up or something at a store. But you sign up online, and they'll ship you a phone within 2 days, and you don't have to pay for anything, no shipping, no nothing. And they'll put a hold for $750 on your credit card. So they're not going to charge you for it, but they'll put a hold there just in case you decide I'm going to take off with this phone, or I'm going to go sell it in Mexico.
Or you bust it.
Yeah. Or well, if you bust it, they don't even care about that as much because they will use insurance on it, so you pay $100 if you do break it. So he said, oh my gosh, John Laguerre during the event was saying how he is going to. He doesn't care if it has scratches on the screen. He doesn't care if it's got a few bumps and nicks. He says take it out, use it. I mean, this is just a tool for them, or for people, customers, to try out their network and hopefully sign up. And I think it's going to work. I think it's awesome. It's awesome. It's great.
So that was the only thing that was 5.0, right?
That was their basically 5.0. So yeah, it's so ridiculous. So that's the 5.0. It's basically now it's like I think Rob was mentioning how it's like bullet points now. So it's every new feature they're going to call that the new whatever. So
I think they just want to get up to 10.0 quicker, so they're like every new feature it gets its own point update.
Just like stop with the points and just say like, hey, it's Uncarrier. Here are the aspects of it.
Yeah, here's the new
10.0 is going to be being bought by Sprint, so.
Yeah, and then he's going to come out and they're just going to get bought by Sprint. Unleashing Uncarrier 10.0. So it was funny though with the whole switching thing. He was asking people in the audience and stuff, and typical John Laguerre stuff. He's how many people are going to try it, and everyone's raising their hands, and he's like, and if it's better, if you find out T-Mobile's better, how many of you are going to switch? And then some people raised their hand, some people didn't. And he's like, what are you guys, freaking stupid? Like, he was insulting people. He was dropping F-bombs, S-bombs left and right. I mean, he's out of his mind. But you could see it. You could feel the energy. You could see the confidence on how, like, they're just, I don't know. I pictured De La Vega, the AT&T CEO guy, just screaming at the screen like, these bastards, and I don't know. Oh God.
Didn't the show also start with like Miley Cyrus, "We Won't Stop"? I know I saw "We Won't Stop" up on their big display, but I don't know if the music was playing. I know that he came out to kickstart my heart.
Yeah, the people were talking about, I guess, the music and stuff that they had and what they were doing.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, pretty hilarious.
Space.
All right, so that's 5.0. 6.0 was this crazy music streaming thing, and basically,
music.
What's that?
It's like any music streaming service, right?
Yeah.
Well, not any. It's 8 of the top.
The main ones, and then you vote for new ones.
And then
So,
you
like,
vote for new ones. And well, the reason they said it was the top 8 or something is because they said it makes up about 85% of the streaming traffic. So there's a lot of people that were upset that Google Play Music wasn't, included on the first round. But Google Play Music, nobody's using All Access. No one's using Google Play Music.
But I mean, just to describe what we're talking about real quick, you get, when you're using these services such as Pandora, you're not being charged for that data usage.
Yeah, you could use it as much as you want, and it's not going to count against any data caps or anything. So if you have a 1 gigabyte plan, if you have a 200 megabyte plan, which T-Mobile offers, any of those, you can stream as much music as you want, and that's kind of insane, kind of crazy when you think about it, because
I don't know, this.
What?
The consumer in me loves this. But
yeah, I mean,
this
I like what
is
they're doing.
pretty much typical net neutrality stuff right here. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this is kind of not good in a way, because Okay, now these big streaming companies are getting people are going to use them a lot more now because they don't have to worry about data. Smaller streaming services are not going to be getting this same treatment.
Yeah, that is
You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, it's kind of a gray area because I mean with the net neutrality stuff, that's kind of more or less these companies paying for
for
unlimited
all
data
we
and all that
know, though,
stuff.
Chris, these companies may be doing that. Like, what is the incentive to T-Mobile here? They got to be getting something in return.
That is true. That is true. I mean, yeah, they didn't really talk about any of that stuff, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, T-Mobile is saying they're doing it because they care about their customers and they
yeah.
want
I mean,
everyone to
that's
sign up on T-Mobile.
in a perfect world, that's their incentive. Is that
Exactly.
learn more
You just want to
customers
make
to their.
everyone happy. That's all.
But
And we do not live in that perfect world, do we?
yeah, I
No.
mean, and that's true. I didn't even think of that aspect of
Yeah.
it. That it is kind of being unfair to the smaller subscription radio type services. But then there's also on top of that, didn't T-Mobile announce their own
Yeah.
streaming
They
service?
teamed up with Rhapsody for I think it's like a $4 or $5 a month, all you can stream, all you whatever service, but it's called Unradio, Unrhapsody, Unradio, and it's just kind of weird. So it's just like a cheaper version of Rhapsody, but T-Mobile gets to put, I guess they preload it on devices, and they're gonna have it depending on which tier you're on. So I think if you're on the Simple Choice Unlimited, whatever, or some of these other Simple Choice plans, you get it for free. So you don't have to pay anything. But for everyone else, they got to pay like $4 a month or something.
And even that could be considered a violation of net neutrality because net neutrality is people want, T-Mobile to just provide internet
Yeah.
for you, and that's it. And then you use that internet how you deem fit. It's a weird thing because the music streaming thing is pretty awesome if you are a consumer. Like I would use the crap out of that, absolutely. But yeah, I can see where it's harmful too.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, and it is kind of a gray area and stuff, and a slippery slope, as they say.
Yes.
Very slippery.
So let's move on. Let's talk about GIFs and emoji. Quick poll here: GIFs or GIFs?
Well,
It's
the guy that made it said it's GIFs, but I still say GIFs.
The guy that made it is a dumbass.
He doesn't know what he's talking about because that's not true at all. I forget what
totally GIFs. Yeah.
It's like graphics something da 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 da. So then it's
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the justification is that it's graphic interchange format or whatever it stands for, and it's graphic GIF. But the guy that made it said that it's GIF.
He doesn't get to decide
get to decide
how
that,
letters
man.
sound.
Yeah, you can't try to
He gets to
rewrite.
decide
You
how
can
it's
call that
used.
crap with your own name, but otherwise, no.
So Apple doesn't get to decide that it's pronounced iPhone. It's like iPhone if I want it to be.
Yeah, no, you guys are saying it all wrong. It's iPhone.
iPhone is phonetically correct, though.
No, it's not. They spell phone. No, they do spell it right.
What are you talking about? Of course they spell it right.
Talking about pad phone or something. But it's
Yeah,
just
I'm
iPhone.
thinking. Well, yeah, pad phone, but I guess
Even that would be phonetically correct. That's how you pronounce an
But
F.
that's different, man. It's just GIF. I mean, I still say GIF, but just for the sake of,
GIF is peanut butter.
Yeah, that's peanut butter. Everyone knows that.
well,
Anyway, Twitter has GIFs now.
Twitter has GIFs. You can upload them. The thing that sucks about it is that on TweetDeck, which was bought by Twitter and is like their other platform or whatever, their app, doesn't support GIFs, which is really annoying.
Not yet.
And on the applications for Android and iOS, it's neat because, well, it's kind of neat. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but the GIFs don't load automatically. You have to click on the tweet, get taken to that individual tweet area,
Yeah.
and then they'll load up.
It shows a play button on top from the mainstream.
And my other complaint that I think is really annoying about it is that it's not an actual GIF. You upload it as a GIF,
and it converts
but
it to,
yeah, they convert it into one of those MP4. It's like Vine basically, so they'll convert it into some weird MP4. So technically, it's a video that's going to be playing, and it's annoying because if you want to save it, you're like, oh, that's
Right.
cool. I'm going to open this on my web browser and save it. You can't do it. It's a video, so
yeah.
I
frustrating.
didn't even
kind of
notice
annoying.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to save someone's GIF the other day, and that's a good one, and then it wouldn't even let me do it.
But at least it's there now. I mean, kind of important. 2014 Gifs
Yeah,
are
I mean,
a
you gotta
little
have gifts.
popular.
You gotta have gifts. Unlike Facebook, who is still bitterly
Yeah,
opposed to
Facebook,
them.
what have they been doing?
They
Yeah.
autoplay videos, but yet you can't
Yeah.
use GIFs.
They're like, no, gifts are too memory intensive. It's gonna wreak people's batteries, and we'll let you play automatic videos.
And then the other new thing, sort of related, emojis, which people use a lot on
Woo!
Twitter. We're getting
Yes,
250 new ones, including a
it's
middle finger.
huge
So
news.
excited.
I'm trying to hype this up as much as I can, but I feel like some of the people on Fandroid don't really care. They don't use them.
Well, yeah,
They don't
I
use
I
them.
don't think Android emojis aren't as big on Android because they took so long to arrive on Android.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But they're pretty big on people that use iOS. Like I love using emojis.
Oh yeah. Like
But
last week we were talking about SwiftKey, and you can make it now so that if you type the word like ball, it shows the ball emoji in the suggestions.
So amazing,
And
yeah.
I've been using so much more emojis now.
Dude, ever since SwiftKey went free and they did the emoji thing, my mom now she's texting me and she's putting all kinds of emojis like, "Hey, we're going to church." Puts a little church up there, and I'm like, "Wow, that's precious." Like, how do you figure that
In
out?
20 years, we'll communicate solely through emoji.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna have nothing. The predictive area is gonna be all solid emoji.
But man,
That's
now
really
there's
crazy.
I mean it's almost emoji overkill though because there's so many that I already don't use at
Yeah.
all, and now there's gonna be
Right.
so many more. And I mean, of course, this all boils down to Apple and the other manufacturers are gonna need to. They just Unicode, which it kind of governs the standard, created this, but it's still up to the manufacturers and software developers to actually build the emojis that are going to be released. So it could still be a while before we see these come out, but hopefully they'll come with like
I'm
iOS.
hoping I'm hoping the people at Android they got this information a week ago and they were freaking out like, "Oh, we gotta update this." But I feel
What
like
were some of the other cool ones? The middle finger is the one I really saw the most.
they had the middle finger. They have the Vulcan
Yeah, that's
Oh, nice.
Trekkie sign, and then they have the there's a weird business. I don't know why, but it's literally called businessman hovering. And it's just like a businessman hovering above the ground. It doesn't make any sense.
For all
There
those
was,
times that you have to type out businessman hovering.
there was so many that it's just I couldn't believe that weren't there to begin with. I think there was a single eyeball before they had double eyeballs, but now they have a single eyeball, so you can make faces. and
Game
weird stuff.
changer.
Well, it's strange because the current emoji set, and you'll notice this, I mean, it was developed in Japan, so a lot of the characters have Japanese
Yeah.
references. So I didn't really look at the whole list of the new ones, but I don't know if either of you guys noticed if they kind of skewed more towards still being kind of Asian, or are they more Western, like more normal? 'Cause there's some, like,
Definitely more Western, because I mean I don't even think flipping someone off in Japan is even like a thing there.
Yeah, I think you're
I think they
right.
do something else, but yeah. So now they have that. They have the Vulcan, the Star Trek stuff. So I think this is like finally added in a lot more Western influences and stuff. There was a lot of food stuff. I think I saw like a hot dog and
yeah,
I
that's the
forget-
main thing because they had all the Japanese like sushi items, but they didn't have like any kind of like bacon or like.
yeah. I'm like looking for a taco or a burrito here. But yeah, so it's cool. I'm excited.
Alright.
Super hyped.
So, 1+1. Storm of invites.
Oh,
They're
OnePlus.
actually sending out more invites.
To get
Yeah,
to not get
kind
a
of.
phone.
Well, they call it a storm of invites. This time it's 2,500 invites that they're giving out.
That's a lot more empty boxes.
And you can receive an invite by you get one invite per each little criteria thing that you do, and it's usually some sort of social networking stuff. So, tweet that you love OnePlus, you get one entry. Follow them on Facebook or like them on Facebook, you get another one. Do it on Instagram, blah 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 blah. So you can get a total of 5 entries, and I actually know one of my friends actually got an invite for. I'm not sure if it was for this promo. I think this one's not over for a while, but he actually got one from. I guess the other one he just found out, but he's like an active member of their forums, and he was getting a little burnt out on the whole OnePlus invite thing because he was just like, I gotta have that phone, man. And he got an invite now, and he's super happy and
Maybe
content.
by episode 100 he'll get the phone.
Yeah, people are like still upset because I mean even 2,500 invites sounds like a lot, but I think the amount of people there was 200,000 people that entered, so that's like you have 5 chances out of 200,000 to maybe get an invite. Like it's a pretty bad odds, pretty darn bad odds. So I mean, they can release as many as they want, but there's always going to be this huge demand for it, and people are still going to be pissed no matter what. So, I
I'm
mean,
sick of talking about the OnePlus One.
they would literally have to release 100,000, like, okay, 100,000 invites right now, and then I would
Yeah.
say a good chunk of people would be able to get the phone, but they just
Or
can't do that.
maybe, I don't know, just like put it up for
Sell
sale.
it, let you buy it, and then ship it to you in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Crazy
literally
how
had a
that works.
dream. I hate when my dreams bleed into, or when my work bleeds into my dreams, but I had a dream about this, and it was the weirdest thing that, like, I can't. It was like the OnePlus guys, like someone found out that I can't remember, like they just got absorbed back into Oppo, and the guy was like, it was this weird picture. I was like, it was just the weirdest thing, and whatever. Yeah.
This is kind of interesting. The transportation department wants to regulate navigation apps.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so the transportation department has, I guess they've like drafted a bill or whatever that they're going to be sending to Congress and whatnot, but they want to regulate the applications on our smartphones just like they pretty much kind of sort of regulate the navigation that already comes pre-installed in navigation systems like on cars and whatnot. So they already kind of do it for cars, but now they're just saying let us do it for um, smartphones and whatnot. And people are all pissed off because, of course, the automotive industry is backing it. They're saying this is a great idea because distracted driving. That's why. Because distracted driving. We don't want you guys to get into a car accident by looking down at your phone. We'd rather you look kind of down at our navigation system already
I'm
built
sure
into our
like
cars.
Garmin and like TomTom are probably like, oh yeah, this is a great idea.
Dude, yeah, they're redlining every year and just, becoming more and more obsolete. And when they saw this, they were just like, yes, yes, we're gonna live. We can still survive. So it's interesting because the transportation department was saying, well, we wouldn't even do it, even if they did let us regulate those apps. We wouldn't really even pay attention to them right off the bat. We're still, focusing on other stuff, and we'd eventually get around to it, and maybe make some small changes and stuff. But
That's
um,
just like the standard response to get people to stop
yeah,
being that like, oh, we're not going to do anything about it right now. But
like all things,
Later down the line, we might screw things up.
it's a slippery slope, and I mean, when the government gets involved in stuff, it's usually not
We'll
not
just wait until they start
great.
regulating those self-driving cars.
Oh yeah. And the
yeah, this
automotive
car that
industry
I
is going
have
to be,
only goes to McDonald's. It won't go to Burger King's.
yeah.
It's been regulated.
That's ridiculous.
Uh,
But that's what's that. That's that.
okay, the Galaxy S5 LTE was announced, and I guess this is the Galaxy F.
It's the
Maybe is it?
Galaxy.
No,
Yeah,
this is the Samsung. They kept their word. They said they wouldn't release a Galaxy S Prime, and they didn't. They released the Galaxy S5 LTE.
LTE. They're so funny. I love when they do this. I love it. I love it. Despite all these leaks and stuff, they will still be like, no, 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 you guys got it all wrong. We would never do that. We're gonna release the LTE. Booyah! It's just like so annoying. HTC's done that a million times.
Is it Korea exclusive though for the LTE? Or is it
Yeah, they're saying that they have no plan. Well,
Yeah, it is.
It's all marketing speak, whatever. But they said no plans to release it outside of Korea. I don't think they will. I
They
think the main
won't.
reason is because they are very, very competitive with LG in Korea. So,
basically the LG 3 GG3.
but just the fact that they said that they have no plans, it kind of makes me wonder if we won't see this as just maybe a specific carrier type device, and they'll call it the Galaxy Solar System or something. The new Samsung Solar System phone.
Solar
Specific to Verizon or something like that. But
Yeah, I could see
yeah,
that.
people are gonna get pissed. Let's just put it that way. But in Korea, they're a lot more forgiving. They're like, oh, we love Samsung. We'll support Samsung, or it's our hometown company.
And then last but not least, it's been a while since we had some Microsoft news. Apparently, Microsoft is working on passive voice for Cortana, which is like the Moto X or I guess Google Now launcher, where you can just say
Oh,
a command and then she'll start listening to you.
always listening, in other
Yeah.
words. I like how
Yeah.
they worded
Yep.
it, passive.
I mean,
They're
that's the
trying to-
technical term for it, but yeah, it is always listening. I mean, I think that's pretty cool because I have the Nexus 5 and I use the Google Now launcher, and I use that all the time from the launcher.
Really? I
Yeah.
still haven't done it, and I have it enabled like on Nova Launcher and stuff, and I still. Okay, Google. Oh, there it goes.
Look at that.
I should probably use it more often. I always forget. Like I'm just so used to tapping buttons and pressing things that
Yeah.
I just forget to. There's all this wireless or hands-free stuff.
I'm still not over like the social strangeness of like talking to your phone, especially in public places. I'll use
Oh,
it.
yeah,
heck
yeah, yeah.
no.
I'll
You
use
can
it
never
for-
do it in public.
Okay, Google. I mean,
I
I've
will-
done it, but I usually whisper. I hold it real close, and I'm like, okay, Google.
You know what's
Make
something
a
weird
list.
I noticed? Recently I was with some friends and I did do a OK Google command out loud in front of them. And it was weird because I noticed everybody like stopped the conversation to listen to me until until she said the answer back to me. Like it was like I was interrupting everything by doing that. It was kind
Yeah.
of
It
funny.
seems so strange.
What's this guy doing? Spaceman. Spaceman doing.
I'm just like, guys, you can keep talking while I'm doing this.
I think this was and something that was kind of even glossed over in at Worldwide Developer Conference, but that's coming to Siri as well. They're going to be like you'll be able to say, "Hey Siri." They just
Yeah.
glossed over it real quickly, and nobody's really talked about it. But I guess they're also bringing.
Was that the command, "Hey Siri"?
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
a-
Hey Siri. Or
It's a
Hello
little bit
Siri.
different though because the phone will have to be plugged in, so while it's charging,
Yeah, that's right.
we'll be able to do it. But even then, I think that's cool because usually that's a big concern with the always listening thing, and a lot of processor chips and whatnot are optimized for the passive listening. But if anyone can enable it while you're charging, and I'm hoping some other people will finally, now that Apple's doing it, some other people will get that bright idea and implement it in their stuff because that's cool, man. While you're charging, you should be able to do it. There's no reason that any phone shouldn't be able to always listen.
All right. I think it's time for some wins and fails. Kevin, why don't you
All right.
kick things off?
My win of the week is going to be. This is a win of a couple weeks ago too, but it's going to be the LG G3. This guy right here in my hand.
Oh man, can't believe it.
If you didn't see, guys, literally like 5 seconds before I jumped on this podcast, I hit publish on my LG G3 review. May just be my favorite phone that I've ever reviewed in the 4 years that I've spent covering smartphones and
Dang.
covering everything. Close to the iPhone 5 and 5S, but the LG G3 is an awesome phone. I really like it. It's got this, at least the Korean version, has got this cool antenna.
Holy crap!
Wait a minute. The
It's
Korean
got-
one has an antenna?
They all do.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Just the Korean one does.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. All the Korean
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's because the
they
TV tuning thing is really popular in Korea. So this
they love it there.
but anyway,
Korean dramas.
didn't really include the TV antenna in my review, but an awesome phone. Great performance, really nice display, great battery life, great software, great camera. Everything's really great. So I'm not exactly sure when the U.S. release dates for this is. This is the LTEA Korean version. So this is what Samsung was trying to compete with. But really nice. A big usually you see, especially recently, like the S4 to S5, even to a lesser extent the 1M7 to 1M8, kind of iterative updates, nothing huge. But this, I think they did a really nice job updating the G2, kind of changing the look a little, refining it, and adding in some cool new stuff. But it's a real simple, straightforward smartphone that works really well. So I highly recommend it if you're going to go buy an Android smartphone. Check out our review. You can see a video of it, camera samples, everything. But this, to me, is the phone to have right now. The G3. So that's my win of the week. I guess the win of the month, really. The win of the last 50 episodes. My fail of the week is going to be the so-called 3D elements of the Fire Phone. We talked about it earlier, so I won't spend a lot of time describing it. The dynamic perspective stuff. I didn't really buy into any of the hype about the 3D to begin with, but and they never really claimed it to be 3D, but I just think it was a little underwhelming to me. The overall just what it offered and how it worked for the phone. I'm not buying into it. So that's my fail of the week.
Agreed. All right, so my win is going to be, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We mentioned it, the Gifs on Twitter. I think that's much needed, and I will use that a lot, probably.
Gifs.
Gifs. I do like peanut butter, though. And then my fail is also related to the Fire Phone, and that is the price. I don't think they did themselves any favors with the price, and I was kind of shocked because everything else that they've released, their tablets, their set-top box, their e-readers even, are priced very competitively, and this thing has nowhere near the specs of something like a Galaxy S5, and I know that doesn't matter to the people buying the Amazon phone, but it just seems like they would have, I don't know, 150 even would have been better.
Yeah, true. Totally agree.
And that's my spiel. Chris?
Oh yeah, my stuff. My win is going to be T-Mobile for sure, simply because they just keep doing crazy stuff. So, I mean, the whole music, everyone streams music, and that's great. Uncarrier 6.0, whatever they want to call it. Awesome. John Laguerre is out of his mind, and I like what he's doing. And the only way you're going to be able to shut him up is if you buy him out. And I think that's what's going to happen soon. But the fail is going to be the Fire Phone look of the phone. So I kind of like the 3D. The price really doesn't bother me too much, a little bit. And I like the 3D stuff, but I don't like the look of the phone, which I think looks identical to an iPhone. I mean, it's one they didn't even try. I mean, I guess you don't have to try to make something look different, but they bit off the look of the iPhone so bad. It's got glass on the back, which was no reason. Like, nobody told them that was 2013 or 2012.
Yeah, I thought we already established that glass on the back of a phone doesn't work. It just breaks. And
it just breaks. It's just ridiculous. They said it had rubber.
It'll be fine. Just gotta try it again.
It's so durable. They were talking about it in the presentation. It's got rubber coating on the sides to, like,
Sounds
impact.
familiar.
And I'm just like, that's not going to help it when it falls on the back and you have a shattered back of the phone. But whatever. That's my fail.
All right. App picks of the week.
All right. I guess I'll kick this things off. My app pick of the week comes. I didn't even get a chance to tell you what it was.
Wrong button.
My app pick of the week actually comes by way of suggestion from David Dunn, who hit us up via email. You can also hit us up at podcast@mobileroar.com if you have other app suggestions or wins, fails, whatever. But he pointed us in the direction of Popcorn Time, which is a service that's been around for a little while, but they finally have an Android app in beta right now. And Popcorn Time, if you aren't familiar with it, it's a service that lets you watch torrent movies free. These are movies that are out there available via torrent, but instead of doing the technically illegal process of downloading these movies to your own hard drive to watch them, Popcorn Time handles all the heavy lifting. It seeks out the best torrents and it streams them directly to your device. You don't have to download anything. Nothing gets saved. So if you're the kind of person that likes to watch free movies, the latest DVDs, probably even some movies that are in theaters right now too, if they have torrents out there. So looks like I'm looking at their site right now and they have X-Men Days of Future Past up there. So so that's Popcorn Time. They probably could get in some legal trouble for this. I think users of the service are relatively safe because, again, you're not saving anything to your hard drive. So very cool. And now you can stream these movies directly to your Android phone. So that's a big plus.
He also says that Chromecast support is coming soon too, which will be really cool. And just want to point out that if you want to download that, it's actually not in the Play Store. You have to download it directly from their website.
Yeah, which is timeforpopcorn.eu.
Time for
4 is a number 4, so it's time the number 4.
So my app pick of the week is made by Nokia, I guess, kind of.
Nokia.
Yeah, and it's just a different type of launcher because you basically just draw on your screen like a letter, and then it will bring up web results, apps that you have on your phone, contacts that you have, and then you can click on those. So there's there's no pages where you put apps or widgets on. There is a little dock on the bottom that you can open up an app drawer, but really it's just meant to be kind of a quick way to launch apps. You just draw on the launcher and results start coming up, and it's kind of interesting. It's in beta right now. I think they're out of invites, but I was able to get it, and it's kind of neat. Kind of a neat concept, I guess. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. For me, popcorn time is cool. My app pick is going to be the Waze 3.8 update that just came out yesterday, I believe it was. For Waze 3.8, I guess Waze has always touted themselves as like the social maps and navigation application, but with Waze 3.8, they are becoming way more social. Like it's totally social now. So they allow you to add everybody from your address book. You can add friends from Facebook, and anytime you plug in a destination and they plug in the same destination, it'll show on a map like where your friends are and how close they are to arriving at that destination. ETAs. You can share any destination. So if you ever need to go someplace, you can just tap the little face of your friend that's there now, the new UI stuff. And you'll share your location with that person too. So it's really, really cool and really social now, and it's really convenient because you don't really have to do all that guesswork that comes with, if you're meeting friends at some place. Where are you guys at? You got to call them up, you got to text them. I have no idea where they're at, man. Like, did they even leave the house yet? Why are they so late? All this stuff that you normally just that racks your brain, and it's just needless. With our smartphones in the 21st century, we now have this like sixth sense or fifth sense, or I'm not sure how many senses we have now, but we have an extra one now where we're like becoming these
for better or
crazy, for better or worse, yeah. And it's cool. So that's the Waze 3.8 update. If you're using Google Maps or any of these other navigation apps, definitely check out Waze, especially now with the new update.
Waze, if you're ever going on a long road trip, Waze is great, especially for finding out where the cops are so you don't get a ticket.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the first thing they're going to remove if they actually become regulated by the Department of Transportation.
True. All right, so I think that's going to wrap things up for this week. Kevin is going to be gone again next week, and we may have some good vacation, Kevin.
Thank you.
You can get in touch with us with our hashtag MobileRoar on Twitter. You can also, as Kevin mentioned, email us podcast@mobileroar.com. You can subscribe to the audio version of this podcast on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and the Windows Phone Store. Please leave a rating if you subscribe to us on those places. And you can follow us on Twitter. Chris is at GamerCore, Kevin is at YouDon'tKnowKev, and I am at TallSchmo. And we will see you guys again next week. See ya.
See ya.